Hello and welcome again to MotorWeek. Well, it seems like Japanese car makers always have a few new tricks up their sleeves, and we've got a couple of them for you this week. First, the new, to us anyway, Isuzu Trooper 2, followed later on by the even newer Dodge Plymouth Colt Premier. In between, we have Pat Goss lined up with some advice about wheel alignment, and Joyce Braga has some news on a German Opel soon to be made in Korea for the U.S. market. But our first Japanese ace, though, is right here. It's the Isuzu Trooper 2. Now, when it came out last spring, it became all too clear that in the U.S. new vehicle market, nothing was sacred anymore. First, the Japanese invade us with small, cheap, high-mileage econo-boxes. Then they make a point of showing us what quality of construction really means. And when the beachhead was firm, they followed up with sophisticated, high-performance and luxury models. But now it comes to this, the Trooper 2, attacking that most sacred U.S. bastion, all-terrain, four-wheel driving. Shameless, isn't it? Or is it?
Well, that probably depends on whether you make cars in Detroit or just shop for them in Denver. Because if you're in the market for a four-wheel drive, family wagon, and size is a key consideration, then the Isuzu Trooper 2 is worth a hard look. Its overall length and wheelbase is longer than any of its U.S.-made competition, and interior volume is the same as the cavernous Jeep Cherokee Wagoneer. Plus, it's almost a bargain. Base price is under $9 grand. Like the original British Land Rover, the Trooper 2 is a bare-bones off-roader, but in this case, it's tightly based on Isuzu's pickup truck line. In fact, the Trooper 2 is actually imported as a truck to avoid import restrictions. So the wide three-passenger rear seat becomes a $300 dealer-installed option. You'll find the generous cargo floor through two unequal-sized rear doors. Those doors puzzled us, by the way. The smaller right-hand door shares its latch with the larger tire-carrying left door, which means it can't be left open by itself, to carry a couple of long boards, for instance. The fear of exhaust fumes entering through the small door is probably the reason behind that. But the storage bay itself is flat, quite wide, and tall. The rear seat is also easily foldable, so you can take advantage of every bit of the Trooper's 1,200-pound capacity. It's all business up front, too. No plastic wood or thick pile carpeting to get stained. A quick squirt with a garden hose can always keep it clean. The seats, however, were found to be too utilitarian, with short cushions and not enough lateral support for off-road bouncing. And a Spartan dash sweeps from the windshield and features well-laid-out controls. Instrumentation is dead ahead and legible, what there is of it, since idiot lights rule the view. We think this type of vehicle requires a tach and oil pressure gauge for credibility. The tach could also help you mightily in getting the most out of the Trooper's 1.9-liter overhead cam four-cylinder. With only 82 horsepower, it is a bit noisy, but even at peak torque of 101 pounds, vibration is well within reason. With standard auto-locking front hubs, the part-time four-wheel drive system can't be shifted on the move. Otherwise, engagement of the two-speed transfer case is effortless, although the four-speed manual gearbox does need one more ratio. The ride off pavement is good, thanks to an independent front suspension, soft springs, and that long wheelbase. Bone jarring stays at a minimum, and the moderately quick ball-type steering with optional power assist makes the Trooper 2 almost nimble in the rough. Turning diameter, rut to rut, is 37 feet by our measure, also good for this vehicle's size. Not only that, but ground clearance is over 8 inches, and most underbody components have good rock guard protection. But though the Trooper's sparse design means you won't mind getting it dirty, you might think twice about getting in too tough an environment thanks to the small engine. At least most weekend mutters should find performance adequate. But on pavement, the Trooper 2 is far more cumbersome and very much like its pickup cousin. Acceleration is slow, very slow. A standing quarter-mile test was 21 seconds at 61 miles per hour. We wonder if the soon-to-be-released diesel version could actually be slower. Power is unfortunately not situated where it will most likely be needed for highway use either. Even in third gear, passing times of a mournful 8 seconds were recorded from 40 to 55 miles per hour. Maybe it was shamed by its straight-line performance, since our wagon trudged back, like the Trooper it is, to redeem itself with good stopping power. Halts from 55 averaged a short 119 feet. While the pedal was a bit mushy, stops were straight, with only a hint of rear-wheel lockup. Handling, too, was better than you might expect from a vehicle that has such a high center of gravity and a leaf spring rear suspension. There is a lot of body roll, and the beefy tires did scrub off speed, but things stayed pretty much under control at all times. And in emergencies, the Trooper's long wheelbase should keep it more stable than most other 4x4 wagons. Highway ride quality is also good, as is a reasonable sound level of 70 decibels at 55. EPA fuel economy numbers are 19 city and 21 highway. Our test mileage of 24 beat the downwardly revised government estimates and should be typical of what most buyers will find in suburban transit. The simplicity and utility of the Trooper 2 may not appeal to everyone, but Isuzu is likely to import much fancier versions before long. Combined with other Japanese off-road family carriers, it represents another serious challenge to a U.S. market segment that didn't used to have any real competition. But in the end, everyone may benefit. Detroit will have some competition that keeps them striving, and 4x4 buyers will have an even wider variety of vehicles to choose from.